There's been a seeming missing link between Zecharia Sitchin's interpretation of the Sumerian tablets and physical evidence of the alleged gold mining clone species of the Anunnaki. That is until now. Michael Tellinger and his partner Johann Hein have brought an ancient civilization in South Africa to the center of Sitchin's thesis. Spanning thousands of kilometers in distance and up to 280,000 years in time, these structures now appear to be way more than just housing for mine workers.
So they found it and they mined it, and if we found something on Mars or on some of the planets near us that we desperately needed for the survival of our species, we would do exactly the same.
Oh, you bet. Sure we would.
Absolutely, and we would go there and go, you know, absolutely blindly after getting that substance, bring it back to Earth for us to survive. So that's what was happening. They were taking the gold, mining it, and taking it back to their planet and doing with it whatever they were doing with it. Then they reached a stage after a few thousand years where they realized they weren't getting enough gold, because there wasn't a large number. Based on the translations, I think the largest total number of the Anunnaki ever on Earth was about 600. They needed help. They needed to mine this in large numbers. And they then made a decision to clone a being, or clone a primitive worker. They refer to it as the Lulu Amelu, the primitive worker, to help them get the ore out of the ground and help them get the gold. And that's where the problem started, really, because they started experimenting with cloning. And once again, the Sumerian translations are quite explicit in the continuous attempts at cloning a new being and a new creature, and they tried to cross-pollinate all kinds of animals and all kinds of creatures. And once again, we get these mythological stories about
half beast, half man.
Yeah,
yes,
half horse, half man, half lion, half man, half this, and you know what? It's probably true. They probably did this.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's not just mythologically or imaginary; it's part of history. And then eventually they stumbled upon this perfect genetic model called the Lulu Amelu, the primitive worker, and the human race was created.
Michael brings a civilization to light that vanished without a trace. For the full interview, go to ConsciousMediaNetwork.com.